This video came out by mmorpg 3 days ago, and it's about BDO. Black Desert Online in 2024, an MMO review featuring Laz, Ellie, How Cringe, Uni, Rapless, and myself. Yeah, we're all in this. So mmorpg's doing this series where he goes to like the bigger like content creators in the community, and he asks them how they feel about their game. And this is a much better take than some of his other videos, which are play the game for 20 minutes to 3 hours and then give a review on it and then have people hate you in the comments. In mmorpg's defense, if he plays for 3 hours, people flame him because he's not playing the game enough. And if he plays for 100 hours and then gives an honest review, people are going to say, well, you played it for 100 hours. It couldn't have been bad. So like it's a lose-lose situation. So he decided to go this route with it, and this is a much better way to go.
Is one of the most...
Yeah, I told him this when we did the interview. I said this is a way better format for this kind of content. You should do more stuff like this.
Most popular MMORPGs currently available. It's a gorgeous game that even 10 years after its release retains the title of...
Oh my god, look how rounded that ranger... All right. I'm just gonna let it go.
The best looking MMO with the best action combat,
crazy.
Which won't always be the case, especially when looking at this enormous list of MMOs coming this year, a list that we compiled and posted that you should definitely check out. After releasing in December 2014, there's still yet to be an MMO that is capable of competing with it in terms of graphics, combat, world, or class diversity. But just because it excels in a variety of different areas doesn't necessarily mean that it's the perfect fit for you, which is why I'm here today to discuss with you whether Black Desert Online is worth playing in 2020.
It's already a way better format than some of his other videos. I absolutely love the way he did this. It's a good way of putting it.
And I'm joined by 5 incredible players, the largest, most knowledgeable content creators in all of Black Desert Online.
I don't know about that. You got Blue in here. I'm like the hot take guy. You know what I mean? People hate me, or people love to hate me. I wouldn't say I'm definitely. I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. I know a lot about a lot of common things in the game. I am not a master life skiller. I'm not a master of PvP. I am not a master of anything. But I do everything. And I just try to be entertaining while I do it. I don't give a f. If you want to talk to somebody that knows everything, twitch.tv/Shazane.
Now, I could tell you that the game is or
everything you need to know
isn't worth playing. Now, I could tell you the game is or isn't pay to win, but I've only just scratched the
That's what I was waiting for, is the Who Megalo
surface of the game, having only played a couple hundred hours and never having really participated in the hardcore endgame. So allow for me here to compile.
He got to level 56 on his Guardian in 2022.
And combine my personal thoughts and experiences as a very casual player with the thoughts and opinions.
What? Why that clip? What? What the? Yo!
And experiences as a very casual player with the thought.
What the is that? Bro, everyone else got like this normal ass fake staring at the camera. Ellie's chilling. Rapless looks like he just did drugs. Laz is looking the wrong way, and I am literally guzzling a bottle of cum. What is going on? In the same shirt that I am wearing today. How does this happen?
Thoughts and opinions and experiences of players that have spent thousands, some tens of thousands of hours into making it into the top tier content every single year. Please take a moment to check out each of these creators, Laz, Uni, Rapolis, Ellie, and Blue, if you need absolutely any...
I was the afterthought, but he's absolutely correct about that. Ellie was almost the afterthought, and she's right above me on that list.
Anything related to BDO. You will not find a more talented group of people. As a new player...
Entertainer-wise, absolutely. Knowledge on the game, we'll see. Yeah, okay.
It can be very difficult to get into a new MMO.
I did win J-Kun's trivia contest, in fairness, because I know a lot about, I know a little about everything. So, like,
especially if you know absolutely nothing about it. With this in mind, I asked every single creator to describe.
Oh, this is Tony Tugo's favorite person. We talked about you, Tony. When he interviewed me, we talked about you. I was like, you're Tony's favorite person. He's like, you mean the whale? I was like, yeah, him. He holds no hard feelings, buddy. But also, if you guys have not seen, hold on. If you guys haven't seen this, fuck me, Dad. This is like one of the best videos.
MMO.
Yeah, this is a good video. I'm just gonna link it right here. It's the best hour of your life. Educate yourself. That's how I knew I was gonna love Tony. Because when Tony came to the Black Desert category of like 2 months after that video aired, I immediately recognized him and I was like, yes, he's in our category. And the reason I like that is because Tony is passionate. Was it kind of cringe and stuff? Absolutely. It was super funny the way that it was laid out because he was so serious. But you know what I saw? I saw passion. And I like that. I like someone that's passionate about their community, right? About their game. It's cool to me. We live in a day and age where it's not cool to be passionate about anything.
Black Desert Online to a new player, someone who has absolutely no history with the game and knows absolutely nothing about it. To me, personally, Black Desert is a gorgeous, seamless, open world sandbox MMO with infinite freedom to play however you want. You can grind monsters all day. You can life skill, you can sail, you can fish. It's very difficult to your traditional MMO with a linear
You can grind mobs and you can grief yourself. That's crazy.
story with a shift from hub A to hub B, but I mean, that's just, you know, the game from my perspective. What did they have to say?
This is the best single player MMO you will ever experience.
God damn it, Rampolis! We're trying to sell this as a game that everyone can play together.
Which is kind
Why does it look like he's on drugs?
of true at the same time, but
Every time I pause
at the same time you can do group stuff. You will do group stuff, and it's not a priority, but it's like a well mixed. I mean, once you get into BDO, it's not gonna let you go. Like, people usually quit a little bit afterwards, but they always return.
So I think Black Desert is definitely an open world sandbox. It's a game that you can adjust based on your needs. It's a game that's adapted to if you want to play completely AFK, basically, which is...
And a lot of us need the gut-wrenching thirst that accompanies Ranger and Dark Knight. We need the thirst quenching.
how I started playing BDO. I started playing BDO because I had to study a lot during COVID because we went full homeschool, but I didn't want to just study. So my friends introduced me to BDO, and I started just AFK horse riding on the side. Just I felt like I was not just completely engrossed into my studies, and just had something else to do.
The thing is that the game is a marathon.
I love how she said, just so I had something else to do. Her grade point average dropped by like 0.7 when she installed Black Desert. It was crazy. Like literally, it happened that fast.
It's not a sprint. It has so many good little things about it that it actually comes across, I think, for a new player as borderline overwhelming at first, just because.
Oh no, it's super overwhelming, but I think that that's part of the charm. I think that there's a state of overwhelming that people actually enjoy. You know what I mean? Especially in an MMO game like this, when you drop into the world and you're like, oh my God, there's just so many systems. There's so much to learn. That can be super cool to people. And that's, I think, who the game kind of appeals to. Now, you don't want it to be too complicated or useless, though. And that's kind of where we're trying to like tone it back so that like systems are simple enough to pick up, that people can grasp them relatively quickly and don't have to go through like 5 hours of YouTube videos just to understand the basics. You know what I mean? Like, or just like buff it to a point where they actually want to do that.
Because it's a new MMO, there's so much time invested to be able to understand so many departments of it. I think what really draws me towards the game, however, is
Masochism.
absolutely how the game looks, how the game plays, and how the combat functions. The combat and in PvE and PvP is unlike any other MMO, honestly, that I've seen, simply because it's so much more, the playstyle is so much more catered towards like a traditional style of a fighting game like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat.
People ask me all the time if I've played these fighting games, especially since I'm playing Naraka too. No, I haven't. I've never played fighting games. I've never been attracted to fighting games, but something tells me I'd really like them.
Combat, much more higher reactive key inputs required from the player. I find that once you start getting used to that flow, I find it to be incredibly engaging, and I find it to be incredibly satisfying and rewarding as a player when you start to get used to that. In terms of the details of the game, it is incredibly outstanding in terms of how it looks, based on just what they have in that game. In terms of the content that exists, I think the game and the developers continue to make the game more and more new player friendly.
Accessible, yes.
While endgame players continue to raise the bar and set the tone in terms of future content and how things are going to be changed in the future.
He says that funny. I feel like the developers are trying to develop the game to make the game more accessible to more players. And in a lot of cases lately, this has been, okay, let's enforce our TOS, right? Or let's like turn down harassment. You know what I mean? And what endgame players do is kick and scream like a 5-year-old. Yeah.
Obviously that content continues to be delivered to us, but I find that as more time goes by, this game continues to be the most new player friendly it's ever been.
As a person that's been around and played quite a few MMOs, and not just,
I would have paid Ellie good money to literally lead off with, I think BDO is the best MMO, because I would have missed opportunity, Ellie. I would have paid so, holy shit, the comments would have gone so hard for that. Oh man, missed idea.
just try them out for like 10 minutes. I extensively played other MMOs. Black Desert
He edited it out. I definitely mentioned Lost Ark. Damn it. Well, Ellie tried at the content.
Online sticks out as a very unique experience compared to a lot of other MMOs where they have you raiding for a month to 2 months, and then there's a big downtime period, and then they introduce new content after like 6 months to a year, and then the cycle begins all over again. In Black Desert, the moment you enter, you are introduced into an open world sandbox MMO where you are the narrator of your own adventure, your own journey. So the moment you log in, you can go and explore the desert, die in the desert from hypothermia, and or go to the winter mountains and enjoy the scenery there. Or you can go pick up a fishing rod and go fish. You can make your own.
It was just, this is super well said. Like this is just really tactfully said. One point I really do want to emphasize is that BDO is absolutely that game that, like other MMOs, they go through cycles, right? The new expansion comes out, everybody plays it, and then the hype from the expansion kind of dies down. You finish off that content, and then you go back to whatever game you were playing before. BDO is that game because BDO does an amazing job of keeping the content in between its expansion releases engaging, right? Engaging enough that you keep playing the game between expansion releases. That is a big part of what makes BDO, sets BDO apart from the competition and the other MMOs in the genres. It's not just like, oh, we're playing a lot now because we only get like one expansion a year, like tops. And like, yeah, we have a lot more people playing then, but we have big spikes of players throughout the year, and it's no new expansion came. We're just people coming back to the game in waves, or like new other content got released, and it's not necessarily a new expansion. It's just an engaging enough game without the new content that it's just people want to play it.
Journey out of BDO.
There's other MMOs? No.
I feel like you can't really
There are other single player experiences like Elden Ring that can compare to BDO. Yes.
do that in other MMOs where are strictly linear. Do this, get this gear, raid this, clear the raid, get this other gear, and it kind of just ends there. For Black Desert, you really can do whatever you want and
Whenever
do whatever
you
you want of your journey.
It's in oh wow, they just he just pasted me over the top of her. That's crazy. Open world MMO, so massive multi. Bro, this is, I'm gonna sound like a idiot. Bro, why he gotta put me after Ellie, bro? She had such a nice articulate response. Player online games, you're same shirt. No, it's not, dude. Like, it's not the same shirts. Playing with a lot of other people, and it's a sandbox MMO. So the idea is you're dropped into the world. You can basically just kind of go do whatever you want. You can go life skill, you can go grind PvE mobs, you can go play with your friends. Do your laundry? I did! In PvP, there's a lot. You can go out on your boat, just like live on the ocean. There's all different sorts of things you can do. The two things that BDO is known for mainly, though, is the combat system, not just for PvP, but in PvE, it's incredibly fulfilling to grind with. Just a super fulfilling PvE grind experience. And then like the combat is just, yeah, that was the understatement of the century. My brother came over like 6 years ago, and saw me grind in history, and he was like, oh, is this new game you're playing? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And then he came over like 3 years later, and he comes in and he goes, is this the same game? It's like, yeah. He's like, is that the same grind zone? Yes! Okay! He's like, is it like cathartic for you? I'm like, off, man. Super fluid. It's the best in the genre for sure. And then the graphics are incredibly good too. So you've got excellent waifus.
So it's very adapted. Like you can adapt it.
Couldn't cut that out. Couldn't cut that out. Just had to include it. Had to keep it in there. Couldn't just remove that little part. Nope. Gonna edit out Ellie's Lost Ark entire spiel, but nope, we're gonna keep in blues.
To your needs, basically, which is what's so nice about it, I think.
So there isn't just one path, the right path.
He really said waifus? Yeah, because we're all weebs. We're just not gonna admit it. It's fine.
To do it.
Before we delve any deeper into BDO, let me take a moment to thank my incredible patrons over
Yeah, sex sells, exactly.
on Patreon.
What are these thumbnails? What? Look at these thumbnails. Look at BDOs. Look at BDO. Like, look at the one about, like, what? No, take notes.
Allow for me to continue to do videos like this every single month.
Do you own a short? No, I can't afford it.
You guys are incredible, and I cannot thank you all enough for the support. Most MMOs are relatively similar in terms of content. You level by questing out in the world. Players perhaps pursue a main story. They move from quest hub to quest hub. But what makes BDO different? Or is it more of the same?
I do want to say that the biggest plus, and all of MMOs should have this.
I love that he put this background music is some of my favorite in the game. This is like the riding music. I wish I knew where he got this. I've been looking for this soundtrack forever.
Which is no trading between players. I think that's like
I miss that music so badly. It's like the old, like nostalgic. It's not like super great. It's like nostalgic music that I used to listen to while I was riding my horse around. Like before all of it, before I made my own guild, before I was a PvPer, before anything. I used to like, you know, when I was like fully enjoying the game. I still fully enjoy the game. It's just in a very different way now. It was a simpler time then, you know, like it just makes me think back. Of the Calpheon riding music. Yeah, it's just that nowadays when you get on your horse, like it's like a 1 in 10 chance you're gonna get it. It's annoying.
like a must.
Yeah, the Medaya music was good too.
In MMO. So first of all, it eliminates all the pay to win, or not pay to win, the pay to player transaction, and it also kind of keeps the value of like items between players and
yeah, something to be said about BDOs. We don't have bots in BDO. Like every once in a while, you'll see someone that's like botting or using a bot service or whatever, but like it's really rare, and like it's immediately brought up and they catch it really quickly. In Lost Ark, like it's like the Oprah of bots. You're a bot. You're a bot. Everyone's a bot. Like
between items. Obviously, the fantastic combat on each class, like the cinematics are just incredible. Like every class trailer, you can like keep on looking. Like the new Megu Wusa or the new Scott.
If this class trailer, this is a perfect example. This is the class trailer for Dracania. If this class trailer was in like real D graphics, like, you know, think like a Blizzard animated graphics or Riot Games animated graphics, like it looked real, this cinematic would have been so much cooler. You know what I mean?
Scholar.
So I think what's really nice and what
Instead, it just took away from it. We were all just like, yeah.
captured me immediately is obviously the graphics and the looks of the game, which is very beautiful, and it allows for a lot of customization. I've definitely been sinking way too many hours into character customization because I enjoy that a lot. So while some just go for template, you can sit there for hours if you want to customize your characters, which I
And thank God for the people like Laz, because I can't be to do that stupid shit. Nope. I'm just gonna pick the one that looks the best.
enjoy a lot. But I think what really kept me going was the way the key input varies so much based on the class you're playing. Whereas you have WoW or Lost Ark, where
It's all about execution. Final Fantasy uses the in-game graphics as the best scenes. Oh no, it's a different art style though. It's like more cartoony, so it works more when you're a cartoony. You know what I mean? Like
you just have
Lost Ark does it too. Lost Ark has some badass. Have you seen the Lost Ark cinematics? We're getting turboed. If you compare the Lost Ark cinematics with the BDO, it's not even close. Everyone's gonna go play Lost Ark. Thank God nobody necessarily does that. Well, I guess people do.
8 keys, and you press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 based on your hotbar,
It's
which
not
is
an engine thing.
some
It's
people
just
enjoy
they're
that.
lazy.
But to me, I really enjoy the fact that BDO has combos. So every class has different combos, different ways you grind. So it's like Shift F, you're dashing from side to side. It's way more interactive in a different way than just hitting the one on your hotbar and then the action is done. And then you kind of wait and there's not really interrupting, not really movement. Here, it's very complex how the entire skill
interesting
system
pan
is.
across the
And it
course
makes it
there
quite
is,
complex also to get into
personality.
PvP, I would say. As a new player, to me, recognizing, oh, people are like, oh, he's gonna do a grab. And I'm just like, he's running at me. He could be throwing any skill for my sake, but people just recognize that kind of pattern. So you can just, it's a game that very easily lets you get into it and have fun with a bit more complex way of grinding or PvPing. But if you really want to like insert hours into it and really go and practice, you can also become just very, very good and master
Yeah, it's a game you can play as like low key or high key as you want.
a more skillful way of playing the game.
I find that with Black Desert, they take influence and inspiration from those traditional MMO mechanics that you see in so many popular games that we love. But I always say that Black Desert tries to do it in a Black Desert way. So in terms of describing that, sometimes it's kind of hard because their perspective, they want to kind of look interesting to their own regard and staying to their brand name. However, with lots of random in-game occurrences that can happen just invested through time. So kind of like with RuneScape, you can have like a random goblin show up, or you can get a genie lamp or some special things just to kind of give you that hit of dopamine for the time you may have invested in the game. BDO has a lot of stuff like that going on, whether it be traditional little dungeons in a Black Desert way that you can go through, whether it be weekly events in their Black Shrine monster hunting game modes that they have, or whether it be just all the time that you've invested in.
Okay, it's not, he says monster hunting game modes. Let's not get carried away. It's not Monster Hunter. All right, it's a totally better game, different game.
In a grind spot, and having random events also occur, whether it be a boss to go hunt, or whether it just be a simple NPC giving you a quick little loot reward and things like that. So the thing is, I find that BDO tries to do things in a BDO way. I know that's a little bit narrow or I know that's a kind of a little bit diluted in this response, but I find that what separates them is that combat, is the look that they try to have, is that unique image that they try to essentially give themselves. But you can absolutely see that influence taken from those mechanics in games that I think that you'd want to see. Traditionally in the past, this game didn't have a lot of that content existing in it, and now with my previous answer also saying how new player friendly this game is, I also find in terms of it does a much better in terms of respecting your time. And again, the big
I hate it when people say respect your time, bro. I don't want my time respected. I'm playing a video game. I want to just dump endless amounts of hours into it, and as long as I'm enjoying it, it's respecting my time. That's all I give a shit about. I played Lost Ark for 5,000 hours, and I can say that the cinematics still get me hyped even after I've moved on from the game. There you go.
thing
I've
that
never had that feeling in BDO. I've never had a trailer in BDO hype me up.
always the pinnacle
Like, I mean, it gets me hyped because there's new content coming out. It doesn't get me hyped because of what's happening on the screen.
of what always stands out for me is that combat, is that gameplay, and is that fluidity that you see across the 20 plus characters in the roster of champions that you can choose from.
Choices is when I think Black Desert, I think choices. And if I wanted to be a life skiller, I can have a deep, fulfilling journey doing life skilling. And just within the life skilling world, I could go out, craft the biggest, bestest boat, and go and do sailing content. I could become the fisher, and just within just these two, but there's a lot more. I can do big, deep adventures than just these two things. And fun, and a goal to strive for. The drop rate is really low %, but I have fun, like chasing that treasure item.
That's true. We do have Scholar fighting a dude with a giant chicken leg, so.
That only a handful of people actually have in the game. But I've done it all, like I said. I've done...
Because it's as advertised. My dude, you can look up gameplay footage in your free time, okay? This is a hype trailer for a game. It's not an as advertised thing.
The PvP siege scene, very competitive. I've done just about everything. There is siege, reaching the top % of PvP play.
This is the same people that like meet one of their female streamers in real life and they're disappointed because they're actually wearing clothes. Like, not as advertised.
Players, where you are fighting for a region in the game, and you get paid for that. You get great rewards. There is node wars that you get to do and play with the strongest players in the game that have been playing for a long time. So PvP, there's that side. There's also the collection of treasure items that take a really long time for a player to achieve, but it's something that a lot of
I have not, Caker.
players like to try to go for. And then there's life skilling. There is the best gear you can acquire in the game through life skilling and becoming one of the better life skillers in the game. In quotations, better.
Well, a lot of the content you're going to find on Twitch is most of the competitive PvP stuff. Or grinding at like really end game spots, or Blues Reacts with other people and other content creators. As far as like a solo player experience goes, you're gonna grind one thing or you're gonna grind another thing. You can either do like life skilling, you can get out, you can go make your boat and like evolve it into a bigger boat, and like live on the ocean, or you can go grind PvE mobs. There are treasure items within the game that are super rare that you can go grind for those. And obviously, just get over it, okay? I wore the same shirt throughout the whole interview, so you can work on your gear. There's also like super end game mounts that you can work on as well. So you kind of just have to pick a direction and go with it. You just pick the content that you like the most, and then just do a lot of that, and you will progress.
With the rise of gacha games and survival games, and both types of games respectively, essentially eclipsing and absorbing the entirety of the MMO player base, how is Black Desert...
Yo, Scarvel, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, man. Now you're watching the YouTube video, but live. Now you're a part of it.
doing in terms of population? Is it dying? Is it stable? Is it flourishing? Well. And more importantly, does it have a future with games like Blue Protocol?
Oh, he's serious. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna be fine. Let me look at this. Yeah, see, we're doing fine. Oh. Oh. Well, as of the making of this video, we were fine. As of the making of this video 9 days ago, we were fine. What the happened? Oh my God, we're all time low, 20,000. Ah! Oh my God, bro. Bro, the cup event ended. Get out of here. Overall, it's supposed to be, you know, typically it's pretty good, but
Bone and Liberty, the Ashes.
It's the cutscenes, I agree.
MMO or the Riot MMO on the horizon. Honestly, from the stats that I've
on the horizon. The Riot MMO is so on the horizon you can't even see it over there.
Seen online, and from Pearl Abyss Yearly, BDO seems relatively stable, averaging hundreds of thousands of active players per month. And admittedly, they're still
To be clear, that doesn't include what's on the launcher, though, so it is a lot more than that.
has yet to be an MMO that can truly challenge it in any area
It's
that
just
it
Steam.
actually
who plays on Steam? Losers. Yeah.
excels in. But what do players,
Steam's kind of goated. It's just if you bought it for BDO, you just took an L.
specifically players who log in every single day, see?
I would say yes, just because you can just check the just check the server icons of like every server, and it's like usually now in the evenings or especially during weekends it's like crowded, which just means like basically every server is like getting populated with people.
He means EU, guys. Yeah, he means EU. Yeah, he's talking about EU. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. See, when I log over to my EU account, it'll be different over there. Yeah, EU's popular. NA's dead. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's okay. Yeah, let me just. All right. So on EU, it is way different. The servers are crowded. All right, he's lying. It's 7 a.m. here. Get on that copium, big dog.
And there's a lot of indicators that like flames being the armor upgrades are being sold out and increased in price, which only makes sense.
No, he's talking about console. Console, we already know, is standing away, has more players than I can't even do it. That shit's dead.
If new players are buying it, so you can pick up on like some of the things. So as I don't see the stats, I would love to see them. But I think yes, BDO is increasing in. I guess I could check Steam, but you know, like I think it is. Yes, I think we have a good population of people. It might be just people just checking in on the new class, or they heard about the 300.
To be fair, again, I said the same thing. In the making of this video, we were fine.
Just kind of coming in. I think people are picking up as BDO as like a seasonal. Like something you like, oh, take a break for a month and then wait until the good patches comes in, and then you check back in.
But every patch
like
is a
what's
good
up
patch.
with this game right now.
Black Desert is almost in a way like League of Legends. Like it's this kind of like
No. You did not. I was stuck in the pits, in the trenches of League of Legends for 7 years. I sat in those trenches, blaming my teammates until I discovered this game. Like at a certain point, it's 4 a.m. and you just have to take a step back and realize that you've been screaming at your monitor for the last 3 hours. And now, in Black Desert, that doesn't happen anymore. Except from the hours of 8 p.m. to midnight. And then, like, aside from that, but it's way earlier, so it's different.
like addiction where there's
Yeah, like in League, you can't end on a loss and you just play till you lose. You know what I mean?
nothing that's quite fitting that game.
Like, I've never had that experience in BDO where, like, you get to the end of your League of Legends game and you have been screaming. I mean, shitting on your duo partner the entire time because the dude is pushing top lane like contractions are 3 minutes apart, getting run down by the enemy jungler, okay? You get to the end screen, okay? You click, you say nothing. It's just dead silence. You hit play again, and you just pause, and you wait to see if your friendship will continue. There's that heartwarming sound of like the banner of him joining the lobby, and you know it's all good, man. Let's do it again. You queue up and you go again. Okay? I've never had that experience in BDO, nor do I want it.
it's nothing that's quite as good as when it comes to that game. So you just
And you know you're
always
totally
return
cool.
to it, which is what it feels like in many ways at BDO as well. You have the combat system and the key inputs, which you're just so used to being more stimulating, even though it's not a lot. Like, let's be real, like,
In BDO, when I take wins, if I succeed on an enhancement, I'm genuinely happy. In League of Legends, when I win, it's just relief. Oh, thank God we didn't lose, dude. Holy shit. Let's do it again.
you're still like just hitting keys, but it's just a bit more different than 1, 2, 3, 4, because you swap around what skills you use and you go from Shift F to WF to SL and B, R and B, and like there's more, and you vary which one you do in a different way. It just feels different.
I still have to play League of Legends on stream, and I'm still dreading it. Because I'm going to get sucked back into that game. It's so easy to get sucked back in. I've been clean for years.
Which kind of makes you return to it. But I think that BDO in some ways are going more towards almost like so it feels like it's going towards solo playing outside of instanced cooperation kind of modes. So they made Money Realm for solo grinding in your own
bless it.
like private server, so that you can't get griefed, you can't have other people grinding on top of you. So a lot of times when you're running around in the open world, it almost feels a bit empty, I would say, because so many people are just grinding in the server. That's
Yo, we should get an Earth game mode in BDO where all your cooldowns are reduced by like 4 seconds. Bro, that shit would be... You just run around and beat the holy crap out of each other like a rotating game mode. That would be sick.
slow stuff, which I'm not necessarily that fond of, but I know a lot of people also like it. So there's definitely a larger part of the population that just enjoys grinding and going for those kind of gear goals and are comfortable with that. And those people that can put in all those hours, I think those are the ones that's kind of just always going to stick around, because what they do is there's always new content for you to grind for, basically. When they see that people
You just see the Guardians just standing there, putting their staff in the ground over and over and over again with like the lava just pouring out of them. It would be obnoxious, dude. It would be so much fun. It would be crazy. You'd see Lons just like on some like cocaine, like dashing around the arena like, I am so fast, I'm like a Nova! You know what I mean? And then the Novas are going so fast that they've actually like transcended to light speed. Like,
reach these caps, they make new
It would be
ways for
so
you
much
to have
fun.
a goal. And I think as long as they manage to keep that goal there and making it so that there's a reason for you to keep grinding, then they'll have a player base. But it's also a very niche game, so it's not a big player base, and it's not, I don't think it's going to grow a lot bigger, but I think that it will kind of stay stable at this niche kind of population area where it's just going
I think it'll have its periods of growth and its periods of decay as they add things and take things away from the game. As they make it more accessible, they will have more players play, but they're also going to have a steady stream of people leaving the game. So, like, she's right.
to stay in the stable kind of bubble. But I don't think it will expand much more in any way, but I don't think it will die unless it becomes...
Yeah, it's tough to say that. When Lost Ark 3 bozoed themselves, we got Ellie back, which was an objective W. And then a bunch of other people.
so little that PA decides to shut down the server. They will to some extent bounce back and forth, they'll try new games and they'll come back. It's a bit like a love-hate relationship that everyone has at League of Legends as well. Like, you don't like the game, but then you take a break, but you come back.
I think as more games release and just as more new things come to the market, I think there's always
was
going to be a
hurtfully
general interest across the player base abroad. And
What
with
up,
that being
Eggman?
said, I do think that the PvP scene and the combat system in Black Desert is still to this day unmatched. I'm not afraid to go try other games and things like that. I do actively.
No, it's just completely ruined it for other girls. I mean, games. You know what I mean?
I've edited videos for people who have also explored these games in great detail, including making guides. And I just have not seen anything in terms of the combat system come close to BDO,
What is
simply
that
because I
outfit,
think
bro? What
they
is
tried
that?
to
So
stick to,
garbage.
again, that traditional fighting game, right? And even with other games I've seen that might be comparable to BDO, I feel like it's so much more watered down from what I've seen. In terms of just BDO's PvP scene and the combat system, with it being the way it is, and for me feeling like it's kind of been unmatched in its own way in terms of just the functionality and playability for the player with their hands at the keyboard, I do think that will stand strong in terms of just the general fan base, because
And hands or feet at the keyboard. Or heads. Include the Suck Nova mains, too.
Again, the PvP scene is active. It does, you know, come in waves as updates come out, as good ones come out, bad ones come out. You know, we're always going to have that roller coaster as new titles release and things like that. As the hype waves come and go and things like that. But I seriously think that the PvP scene continues to remain healthy. And that's the thing too. Some people hear PvP and they think, oh, I got to join this game. I got to spend a long time to get a bunch of gear. And the great thing about the PvP scene is that there's tiers of PvP in the large scale scene. T1 all the way up to T4.
Yeah, there's like the highest tier, like S tier, and then everyone below that is garbage.
And those
everyone below that is top 5% because, like, let's be honest, there's only 5% of the player base is PvP.
tiers have tier caps. So you could start an account, and I'd say probably within like a few weeks, you could have your account very, very playable for like tier 1 Node Wars, which is a very popular Node Wars scene and has always been popular in the BDO community itself. And then as you continue to progress through the game and make more gains, you can start to compete in those higher tiers with higher gear caps and essentially going
Parallel, thanks for the prime sub, buddy. Thanks for dropping it here. Nothing makes me wetter than a new prime sub.
into fights that are also uncapped, if that makes sense, because the game is so gear progression heavy, if you will. So in terms of just like the
anyone else been looking at like this like I'm listening to what Fake's saying, but this Awakening Megu looks really cool. I'm tempted to play it.
The activeness, the PvP scene is still active, but again, like the interest level for the player base will continue to go up and down as we see those new titles come out and people want to try them out. But in terms of competition coming out, new MMOs hitting the floor, I just haven't seen anybody come out with even a comparable combat system to BDO yet, honestly. And I'm not saying that as like a ride or die, completely biased opinion. I do genuinely feel that way, trying to be as unbiased as possible.
One thing that I would, being with Black Desert and playing with Black Desert, enjoying Prolibus as the new publisher, right? They took rights for their game. It used to be published under Cacao. I have full confidence that this team is listening, that
Bitch is literally just like wrapped in gift wrap. It's such a garbage outfit. I will say, what's she saying right now? Cacao versus it's night and day. I was under all three publishers. Cacao was better than the first one, and then Perlibus is significantly better than any publisher.
that this team is listen to their community. I think with a great developer behind you, publisher,
I like that outfit. No, you like women. Okay, it's different.
your game can withstand and last for
outfit
like
sucks.
a lifetime, like forever. I definitely have confidence that with all these other MMOs that are coming out, you know, as an MMO player, you always have that question: is it worth it? Is my MMO going to stay around for like years? I would bet everything that Black Desert Online is here to stay for another 10 years because of the developers that are behind the game.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for the Throne of Liberty release. A lot of BDO players are. We're all very. Why the would you cut, bro? I said so many positive things about BDO, and then he's just like, yeah, this guy just doesn't want to play it anymore. What the? Skeptical at the same time. I will definitely try to go play it. The problem is, I think we're all just going to keep coming back to BDO. Okay, BDO's population is extremely well grounded because until an MMO comes along that can beat its combat and can beat its guys, of course it's the same shirt. It's the same goddamn interview. We've watched in the same movie for the last half an hour. Shut up. Graphics, it's really just not going to get, like, people are just not going to stop playing this game. The player base is super healthy. Yeah, it's a different color behind me though, so you guys. Let's go through its ups and goes through its downs. You know, you come out with a new expansion, you're going to see a bunch of new people playing the game, and then it'll kind of slope back down. But over time, you definitely see a solid player base overall. I would say that I think the Steam charts rest at like 23 to 26,000 normally, which means that, and you can buy it on Steam or you can buy it on the normal launcher. So more people probably own it on the normal launcher because it didn't release on Steam. I kind of nailed that number, at least like by itself, and then later it had its Steam release. So like you're looking at 40 or 50,000 active players probably overall, which is pretty good. And the world feels alive. Like there's very active guilds, the communities are super active, content creators are always making content for the game, so it's generally always in a healthy spot, which is good for me as a content creator. I think that BDO I think it'll probably trickle down 5 to... I'm so happy I got popular playing this game and not some garbage like League of Legends, man. Look, we all like League, but like imagine having to wake up and your job is to get into duo queue, bro. Like there's just no shot. Like, I can't. 10 years from now, because like other MMOs will come out that have a combat system that can at least be competitive. There are games that are starting to catch up to its graphics for sure, you know, like this game is like 9 years old and we're just starting to hit that. And in the rest of the MMO genre, you know, Ashes of Creation looks great, Throne and Liberty looks like a great game, and so does Lost Ark. If Lost Ark was those losers. So he cut Ellie's mention about Lost Ark in, but I can mention every MMO. No big deal. And so pay to win. Oh my goodness. And top down. But like the problem is I think in 5 to it wasn't 10 years, you will probably see an MMO that has crazy combat and solid graphics that are up to snuff. And BDO will lose a fair amount of its player base, but it's going to take some time. You know, people are really dedicated to their progression. They've been invested years and years onto these accounts, and nobody fucking cares. I don't think they really want to let show me the male academic. This is what we care about. You see this shit back here? This is what nobody cares about. This dumb shit right here. Stop showcasing the shy, bro. Like, give me the good shit, bro. That go easily, so.
Now, this one is a bit of a controversial question, yet it is probably the most common question asked on any platform online. Is Black Desert Online pay to win? This is something I truly cannot accurately.
Anyone that says no is straight up lying. None of these content creators had better have said no.
Answer, because
it's flat out the answer is 100% yes.
Honestly, I've never really played the game competitively at endgame, but with
same. I'm in the top 5%, but same.
My very limited knowledge as a casual player, I would say that if you define pay for convenience or pay to advance as pay to win,
pay to convenience is pay to win. I don't give a fuck what you have to say about it. You're literally saving more time than other players are and getting better results. It's obviously pay to win. Then, like the processing outfit, give me a break, dude. Yeah, that's pay to win.
Yeah, definitely. The game is 100% pay to win. But
there it is.
I'm going to take a moment here.
But it's also beyond that. It's not even just pay to convenience. You could literally turn money into silver.
And defer to the others and let them elaborate a little.
How is that winning? You're getting better results more quickly. Especially for the processing outfit, you can process directly from storage. You can just walk AFK and process overnight. At least you could back in like 2016. Nowadays, you probably process a little too quickly. But like, yeah, you absolutely had an advantage over other players because you bought the Pearl Shop outfit, especially for cooking. You could cook. It took 2 seconds off your cook time. That was insane. The Hedgehog literally gives you 25% more stuff while gathering. Like, what? Like, that's crazy, dude.
A little more on this.
Yeah, there it is. I was like, okay, is he gonna say it?
What is that?
Is he gonna say it? Yeah. Is BDO pay to win?
Yes.
Like I usually answer my question, answer on stream if someone asks. If short answer, sure. Long answer, not really. It's too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's pay to win. It's just the line is way too high for 99% of players, and then the 1% of whales that want to pay for the game for the rest of us, nobody cares.
Sure, you can throw
Nobody's
in
gonna complain because a bunch of people sold outfits on the marketplace. No, now I have to buy crown stones to get outfits for free. Oh no, guys.
Dollars buy costumes and then sell it on the market. Sure, but I don't have that kind of money. And it's gonna feel much better. Like,
he's a streamer, he's close to homeless.
But that's
he's literally one step from homeless.
The opposite. And there's plenty of really good players. For instance, the most recent one, to my memory, there might be others. There's such player as Choice, who did a whole series on like literally not spending a single dime and reaching highest gear score. So
actually, he spent like $30 to get the tent, and that was it.
You can easily, well, not easily.
He also then grinded 14 hours a day for the next 90 days.
You're going to invest more time, sure, but there is ways of how you cannot spend the money. And I would argue to anyone who is going to play BDO, just if you can, play those honeymoon 2 months. You know what I mean? Just like play for those 2 months. Don't spend a single dime, just initial purchase, or if it's free, just play for those 2 months.
Here's my philosophy about games. If I'm enjoying it and spending a lot of time on it, I don't care about spending money on the game. Obviously, there's a line that like I'm not going to spend that much money, Like, I don't mind spending a little bit of money here and a little bit of money there if I'm enjoying the game experience. I don't feel bad about it at all. I'm having a good time. I spend thousands of hours of playing BDO. I don't mind spending $30, $50 a month, you know, what to have an outfit that I want, or because I want inventory on a character that I want to play. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, it's just a toss in the bucket. Like, Clash of Clans is the same way. I spent a lot of time playing that too.
If you like the game, after 2 months, usually.
What's your total money spent on BDO? I've been playing BDO about 7 years now, and I would say I've spent a little over $7,000. I'm spending about $1,000 a year, which is, most of that was up front. I would say about 5,000 of that was in the first like 2 years, 3 years, and then it's slowed down significantly since then. But like $1,000 divided by 12 months, $80 a month, and I would say that I've gotten my money's worth. Yeah, 1K on a hobby, dude. I don't go out to bars and drink. You know, I don't like do weed or anything. I said do weed. That's how you know I don't smoke weed, bro. I said do weed. I'm like the whitest person you're ever gonna meet in your entire life. But like I don't do any of that other shit that people spend money on. I play BDO. You know what I mean? And if I gotta spend $80, $100 a month to do that, I don't care. It's $100 a month for what is essentially, you're talking about, I'm probably spending 200, 300 hours a month in BDO, active game time. I haven't done the exact hours, but like, yeah, like I don't.
If you get hooked into it, you're gonna spend 100 hours of playtime. If you spent 100 hours in the game, why not spend $10, $30? That's at least my point of view of like why I spend the money in the game. Like, I spend
obviously there's a line, you know what I mean? Like
hundreds of hours in the game. I guess I can allow myself to do that.
So I think it is pay to ease your life.
Oh, yeah,
that is what
stuff.
I would say it is. So you can pay for convenient, you can pay for quality of life,
Laz,
and if you
lying.
do that, it's gonna
Laz is straight lying to people, bro. You can literally turn money into in-game currency, Laz. Like
be nicer and more comfortable to grind. It's gonna be nicer and more comfortable to do certain things. But
yes, Laz is back. Y'all need to chill out.
I wouldn't say it's necessary by any means.
We love Laz though.
You're gonna obviously have to invest
She's got an Instagram, bro. I can't.
more hours into the game, but it's not like, oh no, I'm gonna just swipe $100.
3K on a supercharger. Hey, but that's worth it though. Plus you get the fun like of installing it. Supercharger's really easy to install typically. At least back when I don't know, cars were less complicated when I used to work on them.
And then
Me and my friends used to like take our engines apart and then put them together again. Like, oh man, it was good shit.
way ahead of everyone. If you want to invest,
Your car? Yeah, I know how to work on my car. Because bro, does it look like I make a lot of money? No, I was a teacher. And before that, I was like a research coordinator. Before that, I was like a medical scribe, man. Like I didn't make money. If the car broke, I fixed it. That's how it works. I didn't take it to someone else. I fixed it.
money into BDO to get ahead in progress.
What is it? I drove a 95 Ford Escort and I drove a 95 Toyota Camry for many years. And now I'm driving a 2011 Mazda 3. That thing runs, it's the best. That thing's a champion.
It is, you're investing into gambling essentially, because what you do is you pay, what is it now? Like 10, 20, 30 euros per outfit.
Yeah, it's just a really reliable. As you get older, guys, when you're young, you want a car that's like, it's like women. When you're young, you want a car that looks amazing. You know, you could show it off to people. You know what I mean? Like good noises. Like I should not have related this to women. This backfired a little bit. But as you get older, you just want one that's not going to give you a lot of trouble. Okay? The Mazda 3 just doesn't give me a whole lot of trouble. And that is just the way that it goes.
Which gives you essentially just crunch stones.
I don't want to work on it anymore.
Which you use to gamble and enhance. It doesn't guarantee progress by swiping in the game. Because you cannot buy.
Yeah, exactly. High performance. Exactly. When you're young, high performance looks great. You know what I mean? When you get older, just stop fucking making noises.
You cannot buy actual gear that's going to give you stats. All you can buy is something that's cosmetics that you can sell on the marketplace.
Does Laz plays on EU, so Laz probably doesn't even know that this is possible. Most EU players don't know that this is possible. You can actually buy outfits off the Pearl Shop and then turn them into Cron Stones and then enhance with it. I know. And if you want to go a step further, you can buy them off the Pearl Shop and then turn them into in-game currency. I know it's nothing that EU manages their money a lot better than NA does, so it is a...
But you're gonna have to buy so many outfits to be able to actually buy the endgame gear that no
True. There
reasonable person
we go, she got
would
to it.
invest that kind of money into it. And if you have that kind
That's not true. Reasonable people do that all the time. If you make 6 figures and all you do is BDO, why not toss $20,000 in BDO? If you live alone and you like, what else are you gonna spend on? Hookers ain't cheap, Blue. You know what I mean? Like, what else are you gonna spend the money on, dude? It's your pastime. If you just spend the money, like, as long as you're not bankrupting yourself, it's not the end of the world. But plenty of people make enough money that they can absolutely just buy in-game gear, and they're not crazy.
of money to pay to win,
20K ain't getting shit. You get 1 pen black star,
then you're rich.
most likely.
Because like I wouldn't even do that because like I work full time and like the
Yeah, it
only
is a small
times I've
amount, Berg.
swiped
It
has
is a
been
very
for
small amount of
cosmetics or
people.
because I wanted to gamble a bit, but that's not giving me progress. It's just to ease my life. I bought the tent because it gives me the
Yeah, we know that I gamble a bit. Yeah, without ground stones, we know.
tent buff, which is just easier than walking all the way somewhere else. But you can get the free version tent that's also going to give you.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't think, does the free version of the tent offer the 50 mil tent buff? I don't think that it does. I don't think the free version of the tent offers the 50 mil tent buff, and so yeah, it's pay to win. Your time is more valuable than the guy next to you.
Certain things.
Just repairs, yeah, and you
So-
have to like repair the anvil.
I would
It
definitely
does. Okay, well then that's better.
say
Okay, well I mean, if it offers the 50 mil tent buff, and you can repair, yeah, the villa buff, yeah. So like the villa buff is convenience, but
that the cap, like what is required for you to put in terms of real money to be able to progress at all in the game is so much that it's a handful of people that would actually do it. So I wouldn't say it's pay to win, I would say it's paid for quality of life because you have the value pack.
I agree. My quality of life is better when my gear score number is higher. So in that regard, yes, it's pay for quality of life. If quality of life means gear score.
You have the Book of Old Moon, and then you have a Camisole Blessing, like all of those. Like you have those 3 kind of buffs that you can buy, but the game also gives you a lot of them for free, relatively
Look, guys, the main character.
often. You can pre-order them from the marketplace and try to snipe them. There's ways you can acquire it. You can gather up loyalty points to buy like a day of it. It's nice to have, and I would say I guess if you go by it, most people buy the value pack. But the value pack is similar to what people pay for paying WoW or playing WoW. So it's essentially just a monthly subscription fee like you're paying for
Right.
in many other games, just that here it's optional if you want to pay that monthly subscription fee or not.
I love how Laz has this like 7-minute discussion about how it's not pay to win. Wait. Or like it is, but it's like all this stuff and all that. Wait till you get to mine, bro.
So in WoW, it's mandatory. In, I guess, Final Fantasy, if I'm not wrong, there's also some mandatory payment. In BDO, when you have the game, and it's quite often free as well, because they have some kind of promotion, it is completely free if you want to pay for the subscription service or not.
The one thing that I think is kind of unfortunate in the gaming market today is I feel like a lot of games are made more with like a corporate suit on, if you will. And I don't mind
Oh yeah, people got to make money. And people are always making money.
games that have to provide different type of monetization, whether it
They're just getting better at monetizing. They're also realizing that gamers are willing to pay an extraordinary amount for extraordinarily little content. What's scary is that the corporations are starting to realize that we will pay thousands of dollars for an exclusive skin because you put the word exclusive in front of it. That's scary.
be through simply cosmetics or whatever. Black Desert does have mechanics in the game that I would honestly call pay to win. I don't think the game is pay to win, however, and what I mean by that is it might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100. It might be like
What the f- did he just say?
it might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be like it might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile for you to spend $100 to get a skin. It might be more worthwhile I would honestly call pay to win. I don't think the game is pay to win, however, and what I mean by that is it might be more worthwhile
Bro, these guys, like all of these guys are like,
for you to spend $100. It might be like
no wonder when we were doing the interview, I just gave it to him straight. And he was like, damn, you're the first person to say that. I was like, what? What do you mean?
bear with me here. It might be more worthwhile to spend $100 in the very beginning, and you will get so much in return from that. However, if I were to pay to win in the end game, I'm spending thousands to tens
But you can do it.
of thousands of dollars to properly progress at that state of the game.
Correct, but you can
the pay
do
to
it.
win aspect completely becomes less and less
My answer is much more
worth
succinct.
it the more into the game that you get. I have played on my main account. I've invested thousands of dollars over the course of 5 to 6,
Isn't
7
that just a fetching Wusa?
years, but I make content on that account. I also have a completely free to play that I've spent $0 account on, and I've also managed to get into the end game of the game as well. It is all doable. I label this as pay for convenience, but I do find that the gaming market
Yeah, but what do you win? Your virginity back.
abroad kind of is following this suit, whether it be like little percentage gains from something or whatever. In terms of statistical advantages, I find that pay to win is Cash Shop has something, gives a completely unfair advantage towards everybody else and makes you much more powerful than anybody else, and it's paywalled.
Black Desert has crazy amounts of systems like that.
Desert has nothing like that.
The game crashed. Processing outfit, cooking outfit, alchemy outfit, tent, maids, the free worker space for contribution points, or like that you can buy, the farming, like the fences, the farming outfit. Yeah, the farming outfit is good too. Yeah, the second that I want to expose it closes. Crazy, bro. Pets are huge, bro. You don't have pets? Yeah, that's crazy. You don't have tier 4 pets? You think that a player with tier 4 pets that spent $200 got all tier 4 pets isn't making more silver per hour as a new player than a player with tier 3 pets? Sailor slots, horse skill change coupons, yeah, the fairy orbs, like all of that stuff. Although the fairy orbs are a bad example because you can get a free to play fairy. You can just, so what you do for the free to play fairy is you get a tier 4 fairy, you instantly level it to 40 with the Lemuria gear. And if it doesn't learn Miraculous Tier 5, you throw it in the mulcher and start again.
Absolutely nothing like that. It's just you can pick up loot a little bit faster. You can have your marketplace through selling items to the marketplace. You can have your the tax that gets cut off from the sale.
You can get tier 4 pets for silver in 2 weeks. Not unless there's some sort of sale on pets or they gave away a free pet of some kind. There's just no way you're going to do that. So in order to get a tier 4 pet, you need to slam together, is it 3 tier 3s and a Goss fee? So you'd need 4 tier 3s with no Goss fee, right? Or is it 3 tier 3s and a tier 2? I think it's 3 tier 3s and a tier 2. So if you correctly rolled all of them and you one-shot all tier 3 pets without failing and then got 1 T2, just bam, 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 that's 2, 4, 6, 8 pets right there, plus the original pet had to be tier 3 in the first place, so that's 10, and you one-shot that too, of course, because you never fail. So that's 10 pets at a minimum per tier 4. So you're saying in 2 weeks to get 5 tier 2 pets, you're buying 50 pets? We'll say that the game does give you some free pets, but you're only going to get tier 1 pets. So like, you need at least, we'll be generous, 30 pets off the market in 2 weeks. That's just not going to happen unless there's some crazy event going on. That's just a lie.
You can have it be just a little
But like, I would agree, you can snipe pets off the market. I did it for my high taste.
bit less. You can increase your
Just took a
drop
lot
rate
of time.
for item
Longer
potential.
than 2 weeks, that's for
Just
sure. I have a full set of tier 3 high taste guys that for my horse trading. Yeah, I just waited for them to give away. They gave away high taste for events. You guys know this if you've been around a while. And I just put orders on them, and I just keep sniping them, and I just kept slamming them together.
Little bit more. But again, it's like
But they're not tier 4 because I'm not spending that money. You're crazy.
it only makes so much of a difference. I do think that the game is completely enjoyable and digestible and playable without spending $1 on it, with only just paying the entry
Just place a pre-order, you get hundreds in a week. Yeah, I don't think so.
fee to get into the game. However,
Which pet?
the game will advertise in front of you. It will try to get you to whatever. And if you're okay with just like, you know, some banners popping up here and there, and you can just click that off, I think the game is completely
Someone filled an order of an Arctic Fox as we speak. Bro, my order on EU for an Arctic Fox just never gets filled.
playable and digestible and enjoyable as it is. So the long story short is, do I think Black Desert is pay to win? No. I think it's incredibly paid
I love how they're like, no, and here's my 30-minute explanation for why it's not.
for convenience. I think paying to win in this game is incredibly inefficient. However, you can. The avenue to do that is absolutely
So it
there.
is.
You can go in, you can drop dollars, you can buy in-game currency, but I'm telling you,
It's there, it's just not efficient. That's the way you say it. Don't lie to them. It's there.
becomes incredibly expensive for it to be efficient where you want it to be efficient, if that makes sense. Right? The early game, yeah, sure, you'll be in a fast lane by spending some money.
Bro,
If
you guys watch me field this
you
question.
do that,
It's
but when
crazy.
you get to the places where it actually matters, that's going to require game knowledge, game sense,
I'm
and
curious what
legitimate
Ellie
skill
says.
to understand what you're doing, because the game isn't
Ellie's
your
been around
traditional
the block.
hit
Let's see what
1
Ellie
through
says.
0 key presses waiting for animations to go. It requires active involvement, active
This is one of my favorite grind zones in the game, by the way. Marowak's Labyrinth is awesome.
attention, and game
Ellie, you spelled Ellie wrong. You spelled Ellie wrong, dude. There's a viewer.
sense awareness for a lot of things that you might be doing when you start
And then
getting
she commented right below you. That's embarrassing. That's rough.
into the content that
Yeah, you got
actually matters.
Black Desert
Yeah, you did it twice. It's fine though.
is pay to win.
There it is. Ellie is so based. Thank you, Ellie. Me, every creator to this point has been, nah, it's not pay to win. And here's my 30-minute explanation why. Ellie, first fucking 4 seconds. Yeah, it's pay to win. It's so based.
It is. You can buy power. How that would affect you as a gamer enjoying a video game, and how would it affect you if, you know, John across the street spent $100,000 in a month playing Black Desert?
Okay, yeah.
It shouldn't really affect your time.
Yeah, just swap servers.
As much as I feel other games and their pay-to-win monetization systems, but I'm not trying to
Yeah, it's a cap node word, dipshit. You're 0-30.
shill for the game. It is pay-to-win. You can buy power, and yeah, you can definitely buy power in that game. But me
Holy
personally,
shit, that Dark
I
Knight. Look
don't
how,
feel how
man, we respect her.
that would really
how
affect
respectfully
in
we're
Black
looking.
Desert. How that would affect many people's journeys. Sure, you can buy power though, but I mean, it's pay to win. I mean, if at any point, if you get any advantage at all, whether it be saves you a day or a month, if you have any advantage over somebody who doesn't have the means to pay or doesn't want to, you are paying to win.
There it is.
Yeah,
It's just that simple, guys. Oh man, bro, this RP. I need to RP WAP with my character more. It's just that simple. Absolutely. Naraka Blade Point is not pay to win. You know why? Because you could spend $1 million on Naraka, have every single thing in the entire game, and still not have an advantage over another player. Spend $1 million in BDO, you're gonna have an advantage.
I don't think it really should matter, but I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is pay to win by the
But
definition
you don't win. You win less sex. It's a W.
of that pay to win. It is.
It's pay to win. God damn. Thank you. Good job, me. But listen to me explain this. But like, there's a really good metric that I've kind of mathed out after doing, like, you know, you crunch the numbers in the Pearl shop. How much, you know, IRL dollars do you have to spend for time in game? And I would say that you can either spend $40 or you can grind for an hour. That's how pay to win. That's kind of like where the margin is. That's it. That's all that needs to be said. And you make up for yourself. You make up your mind. Is it worth it to you to play a game where it's the pay to win line is at that margin? It's that simple. Like like all this, oh, if you want the end game gear, blah blah blah. It's the same metric all the way across the board. It's just gonna take you, it's either gonna be 1,000 hours of grinding or it's gonna be $40,000 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's your option. Which one would you rather do? Most players are just gonna go grind. right? So you can either spend $40 or you can grind for an hour. And are there any peer games where the line is higher? I assume you mean peers and other like things in the MMO genre? No, I think that BDO has the lowest or the highest pay to win line of pretty much any of the MMOs in the genre. Like Lost Arks is much lower. 90 Genshin Impacts is give me a break, bro. Maple Story, LOL. You know what I mean? Like as far as like the MMOs that have pay to win in them, I'd say its line is much higher than most of the other ones. I can't think of one that has a lower pay to win line or the higher pay to win line. Like it's like more dollars per hour. 9% of players are just gonna go grind for an hour. You know what I mean? Most players are not gonna spend the $40 an hour it is to kind of keep up like that. It's just, especially when you have to grind for thousands of hours. So much easier to go out and make money. You know, you can make 1.5 billion silver an hour at a lot of spots. New players can come into the game and make like 800 million an hour. It's just a piece of cake. That was a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah. So like, is it pay to win? Absolutely, there's pay to win elements of the game. And you can absolutely turn your money into in-game currency. But like I said, that's kind of the metric that I mathed out, and that's usually what people are looking for. So it's usually, there's a line of like tolerance that people are willing to tolerate, and I would say $40 per hour is, it's a pretty solid line. You're not gonna have to worry about it too much.
Finally, and this is more or less the reason you're here.
Ellie and I had the best takes.
Is Black Desert Online worth playing in 2024? To me,
That's why Ellie and I get along, let's be real.
personally, yeah. Every single year, BDO releases new classes.
Because if he said no, he would literally be flamed out of his mind in the comments.
New content, new regions. It is always fun, for me personally, to come back to the game after a leave of absence and
Back to back,
just
yeah, it is
play
what it
through their new, diverse, often unique classes to see the new content that has been introduced into the game. But then I also end up leaving a couple weeks later due to the overwhelming amount of things that there is to do in the game. As I
True, so if they introduced it better, he would have stayed.
specifically have a very limited amount of time to actively invest into an MMO. Now, this is the most beautiful MMO right now, and it has unparalleled action combat. It also has a world that I think only World of Warcraft can realistically compete with in terms of actual fun to explore. But let's take a moment here and see what everyone else has to say.
Short answer, yes.
If we don't all answer yes, we're getting kicked out of the partner program, except for Ellie, because she's too good to be in the partner program.
I'd say, yeah. Just because, like, there's a lot
She doesn't give
of
a
quality of life changes that happens in BDO, and they keep pumping out those very frequently. And as a new player, there's plenty of things to do. Like, it's a good buy for, usually it's on sale, so don't buy BDO ever at full price.
True.
Anything in BDO, don't buy full price.
Oh, wait a minute, that's not true. Bro, it's like $5. If you literally look at BDO for all of the content that you're gonna get for $5, and you're like, just go play something else, man. It's just not it, man. Like, this is not your game, bro.
Always, there's going to be a discount. There's going to be
I
anniversary.
recall it being 20. You can get it for like literally, sometimes it's free, sometimes it's $1, sometimes it's $5, and if you want to buy one of the packages, it's 20 or 50.
Just wait it out. There's going to be a sale. Go into it.
All right, hold on. Now we can solve this right now. Hold up, let me see that. Where's Steam at? Actually, you know what? I could just go to their fucking website, bro. Hold on. All right, how much money is the game? I want to buy a package. $10. It's $10. My bad. $10. Inflation. Most games are going to be like $70.
Good.
Quadra A games.
It is worth it, but just like, you can't. Man, it's I can't even you can't, I would recommend.
Yes, play it. It's really good, and you get infinite amounts of content for like zero money. In terms of money spent for content earned, you get more out of BDO than you do for any other MMO on the market.
in BDO, but at the same time, I know a lot of people are like, it takes too much time. So if you have time, but you can do it like fishing for 2 months, and maybe you're gonna get into it like AFK, and then you're gonna like find out about the node systems, and then you're gonna find out about different boats, the different fishing routes. Then investing into nodes,
Yes,
that
sir.
means leveling the node for the better loot. Then you're gonna find out about the market system. It's like, you know what I mean? Because like BDO offers you immediately the whole world. So it takes time to get into it. Or you can fall in love in like a combat, like watching something in remastered and just flashy, just beautiful. I don't know. I would recommend it. And for those who are returning to BDO, as I said,
Even the boat BDO is better than most Quadra A games. Yeah, exactly.
Couple of
Well,
months.
actually, we're gonna watch some Skull and Bones stuff today. I've heard mixed reviews.
take a break if you're bored, if you're not try out the other games. Come back because we're gonna have plenty of
Yeah, you can
quality of
always
life
come
changes.
back because BDO has an incredible retention of, like, I don't know what you call this, but like a retention of strength, right? So like the time, the thousands of hours of time that you invested into the game like 3 years ago are still relevant today. Are they less relevant? Yeah, that shrinks, but like it has an incredible ability to like hold on to the value of your like time. You know what I mean? Like I think it just does a great job, and that encourages people to come back to it.
That are gonna increase the
You
gameplay.
call it the sunk cost fallacy. No, that's different.
I think if you enjoy MMOs and you generally are looking for a new MMO to play and test out, I think that BDO is a great game to play.
It is.
And I would say it's definitely one of the MMOs I've found that I've been like really sticking to, because I've tested MMOs for years and years and years, all kind of weird ones, just trying to chase new ones. But the way that their guilds have, if you find like a good guild and you just get in there, it's a very good like social area, building friendships, like, and now they even started with having these more like meetups and such. I'm very big into community, as you might be able to tell. I really enjoy just playing with people, which is what I enjoy here about this as well, especially with Discord. But coming in and
Rapolis, this is the best solo player MMO on the market. Laz, you should play this because you enjoy playing with other people. Both true.
helping as well. They've done so much to the game in terms of quality of life, and also just making it easy to jump in as a new player with gear growth. So I think it's a nice game to test out and go for if you're looking for a new MMO and you feel like you haven't met something that's quite there. You need to invest a little bit of time and get like a feel for the combat system and the key inputs, but once you get used to that, it's really nice. It's a marathon. It's a long race. It's not a game that you're just going to be able to master in a day. It's going to take time to settle into, to get used to all of the concepts, all of the things
I like games that I can sink my teeth
you
into.
can do, and also PvP and the different aspects of that.
As I
What
said
is
earlier,
co-op? Cooperative play, playing with other players.
the developers continue to put a much higher percentage focus on the new player experience based on all the patches that I've seen come out, all the quality of life changes I've seen come out. Yes, it does have a ripple effect into the later end game, but majority, a higher percentage of the time, it is catered for the new player, for the new player experience, because they want people to come in, not feel this daunting experience, and want to be able
Correct.
to have the most important thing, fun,
True.
right? This game sometimes can feel like a second job. That's what any MMO is, though.
Let's just keep it real, guys. The veteran players, they don't really need to appeal to the veteran players. All right, we're already hooked. We're playing regardless. They need to sink the hook into the new players. That's why the new players get all the quality of life.
There's so much time required. If you want an
Plus, new players are spending more money than veteran players in most cases, except when you talk about high-end PvPers.
in-depth answer, though, I
Which
would
are
say
a very, like a fraction of the player
about
base.
3 months ago, I made a tremendously detailed, is Black Desert worth playing in 2023? I made it at the end of the year in 2023.
Shameless plug, what a hero.
For an entire week, I let my community submit notes and suggestions on what players need to be aware of and this and that. It still holds tremendously. It's probably about 99% completely still relevant right now.
It is.
If you want to know the
You
in-depth
guys should check it out. It's really good.
details of that, I would highly recommend checking that out for an extremely detailed answer. But my short answer is yes, I do, because the developers' focus is continuing to bring new players into the game and
Correct.
make that new player experience much more enjoyable in comparison.
Very well said.
to what it has been last year and years prior?
I would say I hate that question. I hate that.
I hate it too, because see, then obviously the answer is yes, but then you have to explain yourself. It takes like 30 minutes.
But after saying that, I would say I think looking at everything that question money-wise, right? Black Desert Online offers a very unique experience for $1 or sometimes free. The game
I swear to God, Ellie and I might be the same person sometimes. On God,
is
that's crazy.
extremely affordable.
That's
I
crazy,
feel
bro.
for people. It is often given away for free. It's
You'd think this was pre-watched, bro.
$1 or $10. And with just the introduction fee of $10 or lower or free, you get a game that will never charge you for another character, another expansion area, another new content. They don't charge you additional content. It's
Yep.
definitely worth it. And you know what? The game might not be free
You get the most content per dollar spent, 100%.
everybody, and that's totally fine. Some people need a hand to hold and say, hey, this is the narrative, this is the raid, and this is what you do next. Black Desert Online doesn't do that.
Someone has a crush, what? Because I agree with her? Because we have the same take on stuff? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And I can understand why people wouldn't like that, but in terms of worth, is it Black Desert worth to
Well, you guys didn't know where that sentence was going.
play in 2024 for its price tag and the amount of hours you can get out of the game? I definitely think this game is
100%, yeah.
worth it. And for
Ellie hates doing this, but I would love to ask Ellie a question that was, do you think BDO is more worth your time if you're going to spend 3,000 hours playing an MMO? Do you think you're going to get more value out of your time playing BDO or Lost Ark? I think she would say BDO. She hates answering questions like that on stream. She bans people for that.
sure, 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, 100%. They're always adding catch-up. BDO over Lost Ark. There it is. Mechanics. It almost makes the veteran players angry because they add so much stuff for the new players. Their big mission currently is to condense everything down. There's too many item types, there's too much item bloat in the game. You covered this in your last video on it. There's just too much item bloat, there's too much stuff going on, so they're condensing everything down, like blackstones, enhancement materials, everything's getting boiled down to one to make it way easier for a new player to jump into the world. It's already got a lot of complex systems. You don't need a million items on top of it clogging up everyone's inventories, on top of the fact that, first of all, I just want to say that this is still sitting on my other monitor. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this. We're just going to snip that. There we go. And we're going to clip that out of context. And we're going to log that away for later. All the catch-up mechanics in the game. Players hit 600, 650 gear score in a week or two.
God.
It is nuts how fast they can catch up. And you can jump into basically PvP. You can jump into T1 Node Wars on day 2 of the game. And then you could be doing Tier 4 Node Wars by 2 weeks into the game. So the only Node Wars that you're not going to be able to do are kind of uncapped. And you'll be able to do those after, a couple months of progression, depending on how... Sponsored viewer. What the that's his Twitch name. Actively, that's a juice or Twitch name you're playing and what kind of content you're participating in. So if you're worried about trying to catch up, not that big of a deal. And there's more classes than ever, so there's the chances of you finding the class that you really relate to as a player is very, very high.
And that is Black Desert Online in 2024. Hopefully it answered some burning questions that you might have had, and hopefully you enjoyed sitting down here with everyone as we talked about one of the most fun, engaging MMOs on the market right now. If you want more videos like this one, let me...
We love him. Easy up, dude. Now we're gonna farm the comments. Hold on. Make sure you guys go give it a thumbs up. This is really good content out of MMO Byte. Hey, Mom, I'm on the screen. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Oh shit. I didn't. Oh, fuck. I didn't comment on the... It's because I didn't watch it until right now. Fuck. There it is. All right. I was still below... Yeah, there's Rapolis in there, too. There's Fake Me. They all commented, and I didn't. Dude, I'm literally the worst Look, he published it while I was sick. Okay, there's nothing I can do. Okay, nothing I can do. I love how direct Blue and the VTuber answered the pay to win question. There it is. Blue and the VTuber. Ellie the afterthought. Hey, you made it into the... You did make it into the... Blue and the VTuber. It lets you know who actually has the experience and honesty in their character. You can tell a couple tried in the hint, but not blatantly admit it's pay to win. The style of the video is great as well and should be done more often. I completely agree. It's not much comparing creators, but it's not so much comparing creators, but helping the viewer determine who provides the most digestible information for their own tastes. The game, Ellie, you just earned a viewer. We're up huge. +1. Played it ever since release on console. Ooh. Tragic. And was the first game I ever decided to buy on PC. There it is. All right, took the win at the end. Took the win at the end, boys. Yeah, it's pay to win. Some classes and builds are busted, but the devs are seemingly trying to keep their best to keep it fresh and polished. You got to be a specific type of psychopath to not have a love-hate relationship with the game. True. It's fine for quick fun, but over time I've noticed it feels more like a chore more than a game unless you throw money at it. I have not found that. I would feel that way about something that has like weeklies and stuff, but like I never really feel like it's a chore because I always just go do something different. I have ADHD. I just go do something else. In which case, you'll be able to plow noobs all day till a level 70 shy pulls up you can't kill. What the f? You said you've been playing this game for like how many hours? And then you said a level 70 shy? What the f does level 70 have to do with, well, I guess they've grinded for a shit. If you're level 70, you're stacked. But alright. Even though you have the strongest gear in the game, because that's how builds work at the end game. To be fair, though, Shy won't actually be able to kill you either. She's just a terrorist. I included that last part myself. But I personally spent... Holy shit. That's a lot of zeros. Oh, if I personally spent zero. Okay. I thought he said, okay, if. It's a very important, it's a preposition, right? What? I don't know what the, I'm not an English teacher. I don't, it's a very important word. I better be able to one-shot everything. This kind of game is masochistic if you think about it, but it's as realistic as it gets. Are you trying to tell me that life is masochistic? Shit sucks unless you're rich or been around for too long. Damn. Damn, bro. It got so real by the end of it. It got so real. It's realistic. It sucks unless you're rich. I agree with most of it, though. I'd say it's worth playing casually, but don't get sucked in too hard into the MTX or the equipment upgrading systems. The game is eternal. Almost the level of Lineage 2 is one of the game resists to die. Came back after 4 years and I'm hooked again. Yeah, I was so happy when he reached out to collab with. Hey, look, there's mine 23 seconds ago. I look so bad. That's all right. When it ages like 2 weeks, it'll just say 2 weeks ago, and then he won't know that like I commented late. It'll be fine. But yeah, no, this is a great video. Here's the video one more time. Make sure you guys go like it and comment. This is good stuff out of MMO Byte. We should absolutely encourage him to do more stuff like this in the future. Absolute unit.